buenas tardes todavía. So, here is something that I want you to know. So, think back to one teacher, okay? Think back to one teacher and describe in an anecdote a particular experience with this teacher. In your anecdote, refer to how the teacher talked, act, behaved, or used certain gestures. Describe the kinds of things that were said, showed, taught, or learned in this lesson or school situation. What manner of speaking, choice of words, personal demeanor, or way of behaving may have been part of this situation? What was this experience like for you? Do you have a good or bad experience with a teacher in your childhood or maybe the university? Okay, maybe a gesture, maybe a word that you heard from a teacher that you said, oh my God, it was so mean or it was so good. Do you?
Teacher, I have the experience of having both good
Yeah,
teachers and bad teachers.
yeah, of course.
And in my particular experience,
Hmm.
I could remark on the fact that I and with the so I remember those bad teachers, and I know for sure how I will never be
Uh-huh.
depending on those experiences.
Yes.
So somehow those bad teachers um, gave me like the gave me somehow the clues of how not to be.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
And good
that's a
teachers
good one.
are also more importantly that the knowledge or what I remember from good teachers is the fact that the way they behave,
Uh-huh. Yes, of course.
personality. I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
a normally teacher is you when you ask to a student, hey, tell me a teacher you have,
Mm-hmm.
but tell me about a teacher you can remember, and they will
Yeah.
always tell you about somebody they had that
Mm-hmm.
more than knowing a lot was a good person.
Uh-huh. Yes,
You will always
exactly.
remember those little
Mm-hmm.
details, like giving a candy when the student is hungry,
Mm-hmm.
or giving some
When he's sad. Mm-hmm.
somebody that nurtured you when you were sad.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yes.
you remember teachers' behaviors more than
Uh-huh.
the knowledge.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's a good. Yes, it's very true. Hmm. Okay, thank you, Carlos. Anybody?
Teacher Valentina.
Hola, vale. Okay, go ahead.
I not have any bad experience.
Hmm.
On contrary, I always have a good experiences with my teachers at the school. Uh,
Hmm.
teacher is my inspiration because
Okay.
she is or was, I don't know,
Uh-huh.
uh, teacher in my school secondary.
Uh-huh.
um, her name was Dalia. Is Dalia? I'm sorry.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then she was a really interesting teacher because she was strict. Yeah, but it, I consider to go to be a good teacher, you need to practice you practice a lot of behaviors. For example,
Hmm.
the um, I don't remember this word. You need to be strict where you're
Uh-huh.
students, but
Uh-huh.
you need to, um,
To be kind, maybe, to be
yeah,
able
to
to
be kind.
talk. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Uh-huh.
uh, have all these. I don't remember this word, teacher.
Okay. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, but she was my inspiration
Okay,
because she was
inspiration.
a really important teacher in my life.
Yeah, I got a similar experience.
Yeah.
I got a yes, I have a teacher, or I had a teacher in university, and she was my inspiration for being a teacher as well. So it is very kind of very nice to have that experience. Of course, I have had but teachers as well, teachers that were so nasty, or they were so unkind all the time. They were mad all the time that I said, why they are teaching? Why are they teaching? Why do they choose this career? So that's a bad thing that we have in our classroom, in our institutions. And the idea is that you be a good teacher, not the bad one, but the good one, right? So here I got some perceptions and some stories from the text that I said, oh my God, this is so sad. But it is something that happened in our classroom, in our institutions, and the idea is to be aware of the situations and to be able to correct them. Okay, so this is the first one. Jeff, this problem is a real brainer. Do you think you can take it? Sorry, tackle it. I walk to the board at the front of the class and quickly did the question. This was a new school for me, and I had no trouble with any of the subjects. The teacher looked at my solution. That is a good shortcut, she said. And as she started to explain the procedure, she joked, aren't we lucky to have an Einstein among us? I sort of smiled, but as I walked back to my seat near the near the back, I distinctly hear muffled name calling and hissing. Some of the kids smirked and rolled their eyes. Others looked outright hostile. I realized that things were different in this school and that doing well was not considered cool. I was somewhat taken aback and amazed how in my new school most kids would shun you if you seemed to be trying to do well in your studies. Gradually, I learned the art of pretending to be dumb and dull. My God, this is so sad, right? That a student who has the knowledge and can be able to show it, right? Just because the other students don't like it, or they just it's a kind of on fashion to be clever, right? And I had seen this in schools. This is horrible because they are called nerds. So, what do you think?
Yes, teacher. And when I was kid,
Mm-hmm.
um, and when I was student in the high school,
Uh-huh.
and I have difficult things to keep on my to continue my student course. A few teacher, English teacher,
Uh-huh.
they don't have to ability to a skill to speak in English. So
Mm-hmm.
the people in the classroom that speak English is
Mm-hmm.
one of those boys that want to go to another country. And
Mm-hmm.
Buenaventura, of course, Buenaventura is a port,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yeah.
and every time the teacher, when I was in class, say, lift up your hand if you want to speak in English. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I try to lift my
Rise.
hand,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Raise your
my
hand.
hand and say I love English language. But
Mm-hmm.
every time,
Mm-hmm.
when I want to ask something,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the teacher made me feel that my opinion is not good. Try
Mm.
to charm my mouth, and
Uh-huh.
don't to.
Underestimate
Yeah,
what you
this was my
say. Uh-huh.
experience. Nowadays,
Mm.
Nowadays, I realize that I know a few teachers in Buenaventura don't have the ability to speak in English. Only
Mm,
the boy on the street that he want to go to another country had the experience, have the ability to speak in English. But
mm.
nowadays, I love English, but when I was kid, I hate English language. You know,
Oh,
that is
really?
my
Okay.
story.
Yeah, this is a good experience. Thank you for sharing that. Those things happens all the time, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody?
Hello, teacher.
See, Ceci?
One high school,
Uh-huh.
I was very good experience with my teacher, usually explanatory.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Explanatory, the lesson plan. He explained activity. Uh, I participation with my partner, and I was learning English
Mm-hmm.
in the other situation.
Uh-huh.
For example, in institution,
Mm-hmm.
I love my teacher English. Uh, she is teaching me very good.
Okay.
I had an experience in this moment with my
Okay.
teacher
Uh-huh.
to university.
Uh-huh. Yes.
For example, the speaker, the teacher usually Cecilia, please,
Uh-huh.
you better your vocabulary, your pronunciation.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is important for me because has better pronunciation, better
Uh-huh.
skill in
Okay.
my competence
Okay.
in
Yes, yes,
language.
important. Mm-hmm.
In this moment, I practice with the link and chat.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher, I
Okay.
practice my activity.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I think very much vocabulary, pronunciation,
Uh-huh.
and the activity, conversation with my
Uh-huh.
partner.
Of
Uh,
course. Yeah, you need to
the
practice. Uh-huh.
in the watching TV, the
Uh-huh.
documentary in English.
Of course, yes.
This,
If you are
this is
watching
this is
Netflix,
important
please,
for me.
everything in English.
Netflix,
Uh-huh.
in
Uh-huh.
movie, the
Yes.
link,
Mm-hmm.
the teacher send.
Okay.
This is
Ah, okay.
important. The interaction will come with partner in
Okay.
different activities in the
Ah, great.
classroom. I
Great.
also
Uh-huh.
uh, practice my study in the high
Mm-hmm.
school. The
Mm-hmm.
practice is important for me. I'm a student. Practices conversation, exercise, interaction. Uh, I I had I had lesson plan
Uh-huh.
necessary
Mm-hmm.
according a your needs of student. This is
Uh-huh.
important.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
perception the
Uh-huh.
student because
Of
the teacher
course.
can do
Mm-hmm.
better lesson plan
Uh-huh. To
and
improve your
better
lesson plan.
activity.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yes, yes, yes. To plan your classes is very important. Okay. Yeah. Because that help you to have a good class, to have good activities, and according to your students' needs. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Cecilia. Okay, so
Okay, teacher.
okay, I'm going to move on to the other story. This is another experience, and this is a strong one. Okay, okay. So this is Mr. Jones.
La decadencia de la huella.
Dear, can you please turn on your microphone? Carlos, please turn it off. Carlos, turn your microphone off, please. Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones turned his head slowly. He looked down at me. What is it, Jennifer? He asked. He was now leaning on the counter and assumed agreements of exasperating waiting. I hated that. Whenever I had to say something, he didn't seem to want to hear it, as if I were unintelligent and slow. But whenever he wanted me to say something, I didn't have anything to say. And so again, I would feel stupid. Mr. Jones was so good at making me feel worthless and like an idiot. I don't think I am dumb, but whenever I tried to prove it, he always thought of something to throw me off guard. Well, Jennifer, did you have some ingenious comment or question to ask me? I have an answer for everything, you know. He smiled smugly, while he was demonstrably awaiting my response. I know I was nothing, I replied. My neck and face grew hot with embarrassment. Again, I had made myself look like an idiot in his eyes. As Mr. Jones continued with the lesson, I stared at my book, mulling over what I had to wanted to ask. Why did I suddenly lose courage to speak up? I felt frustrated and defeated as I could not help but focus on my inner confusion. Jennifer, are you awake? No time to sleep yet. Mr. John's mock sarcasm made me sit up with a shock. A flash of desperation made my whole body tremble. Then my feeling of embarrassment turned into frustrated anger. And I don't know why, but I slammed my book shut. My reaction caused a stir of laughter in my whole class. I felt like exploding. Next day, I stayed at home, sick. Yeah. Um. So I hope that you are not Mr. Jones. Okay. This is something that is so sick and so horrible for any student. Okay. So I just read this because I don't want you to be any teacher of this. Okay. Any one of this.
Teacher, I by hearing that, teacher,
Uh-huh. Yes.
can
Yes,
you hear me?
Carlos.
By hearing that, I could think of an old-fashioned teacher model whose
Mm-hmm.
teaching is based on making students feel stupid and somehow to
Mm-hmm.
that type of teaching that is old and
Old fashioned. Mm-hmm. It's
it goes
traditional
like
classrooms.
it goes
Mm-hmm.
taking it goes taking students
Mm-hmm.
uh, to be mechanical instead of
Yes.
being critical thinking students. So
Uh-huh.
again, it looks perfect for a old-fashioned teacher passage in life
Mm-hmm.
in teaching life.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Our job is to encourage our students to be better people. And
That's true.
sometimes yes, this behavior in a teacher is just horrible. I mean, this can be happening right now, right? So that's why I
Yeah,
just try to,
I listen,
uh-huh. Sorry.
and I suppose again it looks like an old story from long ago,
Uh-huh.
and again somehow we are in charge of
Yeah.
changing. Of
Uh-huh.
course, we need a help from governments
Yeah.
in order to have more investment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's totally difficult because we cannot think of a new technology model
Mm-hmm.
when the only tool we have is the board and the
Uh-huh.
copy paste method. That's the method you can see everywhere in schools in Colombia. You don't see
Yeah.
like much research. You don't see
No.
like much
Mhm.
lab time. just
Mm.
copy and paste,
Paste. Yes.
and that makes students to feel like they're just being mechanic. They don't think,
Mm-hmm.
they don't analyze information. So
Uh-huh.
again, and also there's a reason for this, because
Mm-hmm.
teachers do it that so because they don't have
Mm-hmm.
any other tool. Imagine a
Uh-huh.
40
For
students
working.
class.
My goodness. Yes, I know that.
So that if you're a teacher, you want to have
Uh-huh.
discipline on that class, and that's the only way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be an
Copy,
angry teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, and especially for early ages is going to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carla, that's true. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. Anybody?
Yes,
Or
teacher.
okay, Valentina?
Yeah, I consider that respectful. It's really necessary, and we as a teacher and our profession, the idea is to teach content of a different subject and
Mm-hmm.
obviously values
Mm-hmm.
to in each student
Mm-hmm.
so that they could be a good man or women in a future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of yeah. Yeah, I understand. Thank you. Yes, Valentina, yes, it's true. We need to be very respectful with our students. And sometimes I know it is difficult because, as Carlos says, we have a large classroom with a lot of students inside, and we have to manage a classroom, and it's very difficult to keep them in a good behavior at least. Okay, so let's
Clear.
let's have this in. Yeah, Cecilia. No, no. Okay, okay. So teachers
Hello,
may
teacher.
claim. Okay, I'm going to read this. Teachers may claim adamantly that they care deeply about their students and that they want them to feel successful in their studies. Indeed, we may be convinced that the teachers are very sincere. But no matter what teachers say, their feelings and intentions really are. What seems ultimately more important is how the students experience them. So, it would be a good activity for us teachers. Try to ask to our students how they feel with our job. I mean, how they feel in the way we behave or the way we treat them, right? So that could be a good way to know if we are doing a good job. I mean, I know that we are doing a good job, but maybe we could improve. Okay, maybe they think that we are too straight, or maybe they think that they would like to be more. I don't know, to be maybe a little bit kinder. I don't know, something like that. Okay, so this is a conclusion that I took from the text. It says, it is important for teachers to realize that belief has the creative power to actually bring forth what is believed about the other person. Being encouraging, believing in the students, and giving student recognition seem critical pedagogical qualities. Recognition, listen. A teacher who truly believes in a student can have incredible pedagogical power. Okay, so believing in your students. What the above sample from a student description of classroom experiences seem to urge in that we need to be attuned to the way that the students experience things, including our teaching practices. What is needed is it is the development of a discipline that can be attentive to the manner that the students experience their lives in classroom. I have tried to show that this discipline is pedagogy, and I have sketched how pedagogy has become a term of discourses that have little to do with educational concerns or what is good for children. We need to rescue the language of pedagogy and develop its practice in the service of our children, for the sake of our children, the students we teach. So, pedagogy is not only the art of teaching. Pedagogy goes linked with the behavior that we have in our classrooms with them. okay, how we treat them, and the image that we are giving to them, okay? So that's pedagogy, at least for me. So this is the discussion that I wanted to do with you. So this is a kind of way that we can have for practicing our English. And I don't know, do you think it was good? Was it good? What do you think?
Sorry, teacher, there are so many noise. Maybe it's the Carlos microphone is okay.
Okay,
I can hear you. I can hear nothing.
okay, okay. Bueno, muchachos, pues esto fue, digamos, prácticamente lo que quería hacer por esta cuarta sesión. Es como simplemente tratar de tener una pequeña discusión acerca de el tema pedagógico. Y pues no sé cómo les pareció.
Pues, tutora Jennifer, primeramente decirle, no sé si hablar en inglés o en español.
Podemos
English,
como quieran, tranquila, no hay problema.
en español, bueno. No, muy interesante, tutora, muy interesante. La verdad que siento un poco de pena porque pues, siempre me gusta parar.
Carlos,
Carlos,
porfa, cierra
Carlos,
tu micrófono, porfa.
Carlos, Carlos, ¿me oyes?
Carlos no está escuchando y tiene el micrófono abierto.
Ajá, sí,
Sí,
eso, así ha sido. Ah, ok, Carlos, te agradezco, hombre, Carlos,
gracias,
gracias.
Carlos, gracias. Ujú,
Sí, entonces decía, sí, pues siento un poco de vergüenza no poder haberme preparado para el tema, un tema
ujú,
muy interesante, la pedagogía. Yo he
ujú,
sido pues docente en parte, he trabajado ahorita soy operador de radio en una empresa de pilotos, pero siempre
ujú,
había trabajado como docente y sé lo importante y lo significante que son estos temas y debatirlo más bien, o sea, nuevas
ujú,
ideas, tener nuevas ideas los compañeros y no es sino, pues queda, he cogido apunte de lo que ha planteado Carlos, lo que ha dicho usted, doctora, lo que ha dicho Valentina, y
ujú,
Cecilia, y
ujú.
entonces pues ya queda ir profundizando en este tema que tiene mucha tela que cortar, como se dice
Muchas, sí,
coloquialmente.
mucha, mucha, mucha.
Ajá,
Ajá, la idea era con eso también que ustedes tuvieran como un poquito de idea de lo del mapa mental, los que no hubieran hecho o los que ya lo hubieran hecho, pues como mejorarlo de algún modo. También pues yo sé que los cogí como en frío, pero pues la verdad era algo que quería hacer hace rato y pues este es un experimento, la verdad, un experimento que hice y pues la idea es que sigamos haciéndolo. De pronto no muy seguido, pues desafortunadamente por el corto tiempo que disponemos, pero sí al menos dejar un espaciocito para este tipo de actividades para que también practiquemos y me incluyo porque ustedes saben que el lenguaje es una cosa que se pierde así rapidito. Bueno,
así es.
sí. Entonces, mis niños, si no tienen ninguna cosa, pues ya haríamos por terminado. Y para la siguiente semana, entonces tendríamos otrica, pero entonces en eso íbamos a discutir. Les voy a explicar lo que van a hacer para la tarea final. ¿Listo?
Listo, profe, muchísimas gracias por su tiempo y por el tema. Yo siento lo mismo que, que el compañero. Necesitamos como más preparación en ese tema. Me gustó mucho, profe, el tema. Voy a ver de nuevo el
Ok.
video,
Ajá.
analizarlo y pensar en nuevas ideas. Y muchísimas gracias a usted y a los
Listo.
compañeros, profe.
Bueno, me alegro mucho que les haya gustado. Un abrazo para todos, muchos, muchos picos. Y
Gracias, profe,
gracias
por
por
su
los
tiempo.
mensajitos. Ay, tan bonita, ¿no? A ustedes por su tiempo.
Interesante el tema para
Ay, gracias.
reflexionar, para
Sí, reflexión.
practicar. Es nuestro
Esa era la
quehacer
idea.
pedagógico,
Ujú.
tan
Sí.
como docentes en formación o en el
Sí.
ejercicio de la profesión.
Ajá, exactamente. Eso es lo que quería, que nos pusiéramos a pensar y quedáramos ahí como en vilo con eso. Vale, muchas gracias, mis niños. Entonces, un abrazo muy grande y nos vemos la próxima semana. Y pues cualquier cosa me escriben. Bueno, un abrazo.
Listo,
Listo, profe,
profe. Igual
gracias. Chao,
para usted. Muchas
muchachos.
gracias.
Bueno, chao, chao.
Bye bye.